Yeah, like, I don't know, I'm partially reminded of a goofy commercial we had back in the day for, like, those lollipops that have multiple color layers on them. And the joke was like the kid in the back like licked it and went, "It's green!" And then the dad was like, "Ah yes, my child, who is known for informing me on the state of the light of the traffic light, has informed me it's time to drive." And he just drives straight into someone else. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this man that he just starts driving when his child tells him it's green? Why isn't he paying attention? Why is he listening to his fucking kid about this instead of like, ugh, damn dad, you're stupid. Naser forgot his phone. Good catch, Dad complimented, peering in the mirror as he chuckled. How did the dad not pick up on that? I'm just saying, if he's this paranoid, he would pick up on a bomb-like device in the backseat. It looks like he just realized it as well. Olivia and I turned to the back window to see a pterodactyl rushing out of his dorm, anxiously feeling his pockets with a panicked look on his face before it turned to relief, seeing that our car was still there. Numbering it to him. Olivia opened the door. "Don't get your penis stuck in the car door!" Running toward Naser whilst showing the phone as my head tracks her, peering out the back window. See, that's a good use of peering. As Dad and Mom... It's Mom and Dad! It's always Mom and Dad! Who makes you cookies, Anon? Who gets priority? Talked with each other about the day. The baryonyx handed the phone back to Naser, the pterodactyl saying something with a grateful smile as he pocketed it. I'm so glad the author had the restraint not to bring up fucking Anon's telescopic hearing. Because that would be bullshit. Like, cars are quite muffling, especially if the engine's still running, and I don't think your dad owns an electric. And then Olivia leaned forward, planting the tip of her snout against his own. Fuck. I've had a bunch of ideas of late on, like, goofy meta-stories that I wanted to write. I thought about writing, so I wanted to write Ophidia, the exchange student, and it integrates Shalonians as a concept into the setting, and I wanted to do it for both Anon's story and the St. Hammond one, and then I was like, wouldn't it be fucking weird if, like, we do the St. Hammond one again, but Anon shows up, and Anon's like, what the fuck's going on? And Ophinia's like, oh, I just go through other dimensions and fuck around a whole bunch. And I have to write those other two stories first. That's the problem. I would need to loosen up my standards to actually get those finished on time. But what a self-indulgent piece of crap that would be. The other story I was thinking about writing is indeed, as I mentioned it, is, Jeez. Fuck you, Senator. The other thing I was thinking about is the idea of, like, you loop multiple times. These loop stories are always the one loop. What if he just goes back again? Anon is so hot dog shit at this that he just keeps going back. He can't stop himself. Anon just keeps going back, and it slowly but surely deteriorates his mind, because he's 100 years old in the body of a babu. God damn it, I'm a baby for the 5th time! Babu. Babu. How'd you do it? This is where I watched my parents die, Parappa. Don't slam your penis in the car door! This is where I watched my parents die, Parapapa. This is where you watched your parents die. But rapping now is not the time to rap along. This is not the time to rap along. This is where I watched my non-binary girlfriend jump off the roof, Parappa. This is where you watch your non-binary girlfriend walk off the roof. Anon. I already saw the story plot in the visual novel. Yeah, I mean, a proper published visual novel is probably ought to explore the meta context of what it means to load saves and etc., blah blah. We've all seen that. Which is why it's an idea that I'll probably just stow away as we go along. It's not nearly as interesting as the idea of someone fucking around a little bit. And it's like, oh, this recontextualizes the last two, now doesn't it? And she's like, nah, it doesn't. It technically doesn't. You're just being weird about it, Anon. That happened. That's as real as everything else. You're just being weird about it. The problem is very few people are receptive to being told that the story is what you as the reader make of it and what the writer has made of it. Because it kind of implies... Because it basically invalidates Watsonian thinking, which is a pervasive train of thought nowadays when it comes to critique. It's ority shit? What's ority shit? Is it too oratory? Does it, like, never stop talking about shit? You know, as Parappa the Rapper once said, you only need one sentence to say something. God damn. The fucking... Oh, I'm thinking of a guy who did like the Parappa battle mode, and they just said the stupidest shit. Oh. Anyway, Anon doesn't have telescopic ears, for once. She had kissed him. Oh wait, and then Olivia leaned forward, planting the tip of a snout against his own. Why his own? Again, this is the last noun loaded into memory. It's fine, you can just use the pronoun. His own. I don't know what it is, but it just makes the sentence read a little weird. Oh, your stubby fingers and the keyboard isn't made for this. Ugh. The second you have non-standard fingers, like smartphone controls, just go... She had kissed him. I blink, watching as Olivia immediately turned away, running back quickly to her car, and the parking lot lights briefly illuminating the fierce blush on her face. What color do you get if you mix red and green? Brown? All the while, Naser simply stood there, completely and utterly frozen, remaining stuck mid-pose with his phone still halfway inside of his pockets, his golden eyes wide as saucers as his good wings simply dropped to the floor. And, please, stop describing his eyes with such luscious terms. You're not beating the allegations. I mean, I guess you just call them yellow, right? That's all you need. That's all you need. This is the problem, right? Purple. Oh no! Olivia's turned into Barry! The thing is, this is Anon's thoughts. So, assigning Anon the descriptor of golden, which is a more polite and you know, the problem is it assigns value to Anon that he doesn't have. Otherwise, this would be a love triangle, and as we all know, that's way too baller for this story. Actually, that'd be a cute story. Anon... How to describe this, right? Anon is dating someone or something, I don't know. Or Anon isn't dating someone or something, I don't care. And he's like, what a cute couple, and everyone is agreeing with it. He's like, why do I like the guy more? Or something like that, something in that direction. You know, you find out you're gay through a love triangle that you never... There's an interesting idea there that I kind of want to explore now. If only because it means that Anon finally cannot beat the allegations. Write it out of spite. Olivia re-entered the car. Both of my parents none the wiser as my dad. Why the fuck did your dad, who specifically interrogated Naser, not look in the rearview mirror to observe that? Or is he being nice about this? Anon should be suspicious about this. It's your dad, Anon. He yelled at you for listening in with your telescopic ears. Which he somehow knew you have. He must have been relieved to have his phone back. Yeah. Olivia replied, smiling to herself before noticing me peering at her. Able to help but give her a knowing smirk. Anon, you're never going to stop reincarnating if you're not... Gotta be nicer than this. God's gonna dock you points if you're being snarky little bastard about it. To that, she rolls her eyes, still bumping against my shoulder as I shy away from that same smirk. Peering out the back window to see Naser having slightly recovered from the shock. Now simply standing there in the middle of the parking lot to watch us leave, the claw slowly tracing his smiling side before exhilaration finally got to him. Was he? Okay, listen, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm playing the song. It's a good song, and you're listening to it right now. We're standing here when we're standing here, okay? If he's standing here, we're standing here. Here we go. Such a bad edit, too. It's a really bad edit. It's not great, but that's why I love it. It really does breed standing. Meanwhile, in an opposite universe, realized he's just standing there. Oh, these comments are great. Standing breeds standing. As someone who's waited in a line queue before I can confirm it's true. Naser, stop standing there before a queue forms. Truckun won't be so merciful next time, man. I'm gonna be sent to Berserk as a side character. Actually, that is a great way to get that Ophinia story off the ground. Like, Ophinia's like, okay, fine, Anon. I fucked up. You're not supposed to be here, and you are, okay? Okay? I remixed all the characters together, and you ended up here for no good reason. I'll give you a wish. And Anon's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she just goes, okay, you know what? If you're not going to make a wish, let's have some fun. And she just desperately kicks him into another universe. But the problem is, I don't see where the fun in that is. That works way better in a visual media, where the discombobulation from the constantly changing backgrounds and scenics would work fantastically. Also, the art budget gets strained and stretched thin as every single time they hop into a new timeline story. Ugh. For some reason, I also thought it'd be funny to have Ophinia talk about what it means for stories to be written. Like, it's easy to abandon a world, but it's hard to finish it. All that fun stuff. The writer's process, subtly disguised as a person who's just very bored. Because as we all know, writers love writing about writers, even though I have experience in several other areas that I could also talk about. But that would mean that standing doesn't breed standing, and we don't talk about that around. Anyway, enough of that. The last sight I see of Naser that night is the pterodactyl. Shouldn't that be was? I know, it is C. Is the pterodactyl leaping in the air with pure joy as he ran back to the dorm. In actuality, his good wings seem to put in good work too. You're going to the Goodbye Volcano High verse, Anon. Why wasn't Trish a trans man? I'm just saying. Why am I saying that? I don't know. It's I just feel that for a story that's ultimately about the idea of inclusivity, it's really awkwardly structured in that Reed is the main group. The main fucking group has straight man who is gay, but like the boyfriend of Reed doesn't matter. So we have cis man, cis woman, and then non-binary. Like, how the fuck is Fang a token in a non-token group? It's all about the writing, man. If Trish just fucking made out with Fang once, it would have fixed everything. Just fucking lip-to-lip action. Actually, was Trish implied to be gay? I don't know. I know Reed explicitly is. I don't know if he's more free than that. Personally, I think the whole situation is just fucking goofy at some point. But we're not talking about that right now. Love was a hell of a drug. What the hell are you talking about, buddy? Your only love fucking killed you, technically speaking. Man, love is such a great thing. What are you talking about, Anon? The one person you loved shot up a school because of you. Yeah, love really does make the world better. Wow, you're an asshole. Grape-flavored cream pie. Get out of here. Be gone! And it was pretty much official after that point. The problem I have with the sentence is that it's not snappy. This sentence is supposed to be like a punchy introduction, and it was pretty much official after that. Something, I don't know, beyond that point feels a little bit too like it's lingering on its syllables. Naser and Olivia are now boyfriend and girlfriend. I hereby pronounce you boy and girlfriend. It really came to no surprise to Doe and Warden, or anyone involved with our table, actually. After all, the two were practically inseparable, as where there was an Olivia, chances were you were going to find Naser and vice versa. But then, who came first? The Naser or the Olivia? Chicken and egg problem right there, buddy. Our group seating habits also changed, to now switch to the comfy outside tables to wait for Naser to finish his training. So how did your French assignment go? Warden asked... Oh no.
So how did your French assignment go?
Warden asked Doe. Dinosaur Canada? Is there... Okay, I know that Mexico is called Rexico. Is there a term for Goodbye Volcano High, Snoot Game, Canada? On that note, I went to AO3. On AO3, Snoot Game is now considered a part of Wani Gator. I know why they did it, and I think it's a smart move to make. Because say all you want, but structurally, mechanically, culturally, Snoot Game is way more a derivative of Wani Gator, regardless of the timeline, than it is anything to do with Goodbye Volcano High. It's the smart move. I wouldn't have thought of it because I'm not a tag wrangler. I don't have the spurs or the cowboy boots or the lasso to do it. The human pausing before slowly placing a head against the wooden table. Man, they have wooden I mean, it's outside. They usually use wooden tables for that. I chuckle. Jeez, that bad, huh? Doe slowly nodded. I thought I would be good at the language of love. She sunk further into her own arms. It turns out I'm terrible at it. And if you fuck up, the next Isekai universe be Snoot Game, but in Albania. Dude, that's a war crime. That's Satan levels of evil. You meanie. Doe slowly. Okay. She then let out a whimper as Warden patted her back. By the way, I would like to remind you that normally between each of these sentences is a whole white line for no good reason. The structure is awful in that perspective. God damn it. God damn it. I just had a thing I wanted to write, and I forgot it. I forgot the idea I had. I had an idea. I had the Ophelia idea. That's fair. That's fine. That sits over there, but I had another one. And I forgot. I'm not talking about the Anon one. Hold on, I need to write that down. Just in case future me wants to use it. I think the funniest part of Anon becomes gay because of a life triangle. The funniest part of all of that is he should have no guarantee the guy is gay, so he has to contend with that because that just makes it a little snappier. Dementia. Well, I am getting old. Hold on. Huh. Well, never mind. I thought I sniffed something.
There.
The Allosaurus smiled.
If you want, you can practice with me. Granted, I have no idea what you're saying, but it helps to have a listener.
It does. Admittedly, I found personally that just writing over the assignments and voicing them out tends to be the better idea. Just actual repetition and practice, you know. Getting the pronunciations and makes more sense in your head. Like, I'm starting to notice something as I'm doing my Spanish lessons, is that some parts of Spanish are starting to integrate themselves into the automatics of my brain. It's a slow process, because I'm not doing that much. It's just some Duolingo exercises. But hey, it's a result. Outcomes have been achieved. Really?
Yep, really.
Warden nodded, the two of them looking at one another. Damn, when do those two become a thing? I was about to ask, why are we focusing on this at all? Are we going to the French assignment? No, it's supposed to be they're being cute together. However, this is a really subtle way of doing that. I feel like the pat should be explained a bit more. Like, have his hand linger. You know, like it's more than just a pat on the back. On the other hand, how old are these people? I was pretty much the only one at the table who lacked any form of significant other. Not that I really minded at all, especially considering I was an 18-year-old mind going through 7th grade. You are not 18 years old at this point, Anon! You are literally in your 20s or 30s at this point, you motherfucking idiot. Also, I need to go back to... What is 7th grade? He's about 13 at this point. If 8th grade is the entry point... No, it's 4 years. So he's like 12, 13? Because 9th grade is freshman year, which is when they're about 14. That's so fucking weird, Anon. You're 30! Anon, you're 30 years old! Don't even pretend. I mean, okay, the big problem, right? His neurochemistry and his hormonal system are not 30 years old, okay? Hormonally and neurochemistry-wise, neuron-wise, he's not 30. It's unclear how brains are transferred in this process, but there is a lot of nature and nurture that needs to be figured out real fucking fast if you're gonna raise that argument. This is why I don't focus on this. However, I do like the fact that Anon has the wherewithal to go, it's kind of weird if I started dating someone my age, isn't it? I don't want to even think about the implications of finding a partner at this point in time. Is there ever going to be a good time? Like, 12 to 18 years is a long period of time to compensate for, Anon. I'm just saying. Even so, my thoughts drifted to Fang for a moment, my daily dose of shitty, soul-draining melancholy for the day. I mean, are you really doing this daily? I got the impression that, like, the mall visit was alright. The nagging fear of me fucking up everything again was still in the back of my head like a tumor. Anon, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something funny, Anon. Hold the phone. Anon, did you know it is really fucking hard to make a school shooting happen like that? Like, you are really just acing that section. The fact that you are anything like this is you're never getting ending 4 again, buddy. You are physically incapable. This is not the EU school system, I'm afraid. This takes place in the US of A. As far as I know. And now I'm gonna say oink oink. And then I'm gonna put a flute to my lips. Going do 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 do. Yeah, he's like 12 to 14 at this point. Junior high school, senior high school. He's in middle school! I don't know any of these fucking terms. Unfortunately, none of the terms I'm familiar with are in here. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't know these terminologies. Yeah, baby. The hilarious part, and this is the part that you probably don't really want to hear about. In Dutch, and this is so fucking weird. High school is called middle school. That's it. But it's technically high school. Compulsory education partial. Yeah. Education until you're 16. With 1 or 2 extra years depending on if you're smart enough to deserve it. If you're a fucking idiot, you're 16 years old, you get kicked out. Fuck you. You're too stupid. Go learn a trade or go into... or fucking get your brain taken care of. This doesn't help with grades. Why can't you tell me the fucking grade levels, buddy? I guess it just won't. However, I know that in Dutch, you go from 1 to 8. At that point, you're in 12. So yes, you enter elementary school at 4. You go through grades 1, 2, 3, all the way to 8. You enter high school when you're 12-ish. You usually have to find a high school. You have to choose your own high school, buddy. And you're there for like 4 to 6 years. So yeah. They would be in 9th grade? Technically, by Dutch standards, they would be in high school at this point. Why am I thinking of... Who cares? Be gone, Safi.